What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Mark here with the Better Mark. Let's get into the July 4th Major League Baseball betting card. All right, very exciting day within the Major League ranks. Okay, this is something where I think everybody looks forward to those new uniforms, those different hats every single day. Independence Day, I should say, every single year within the Major League schedule. So it'll be exciting to see. Also, you do have to understand there's a lot of little extracurriculars that go on a little bit too. I think that you see a little bit of this time period as we lead up to the All-Star break, right? This is getting into that period of uncertainty. Okay, so handicapping baseball, this is where you get into this range where, in some form or fashion, you can almost take the statistics out of the window in a sense, because you see people start looking forward to that layoff. And if they're in the game, maybe people start thinking about some other things, but more or less it's just a big break that comes for these players that they look forward to. But they are professionals, so in more times than not, you do actually get the desired results and effort. But it is a thing with a lot of the teams that possibly are not in contention, nonetheless, or people that are just kind of in contracts and not really worried about job security, so on and so forth. So I do want to get into today's picks. We're going to kind of go a little crazy today. Got some fun stuff in store for you guys on the card. Also, if you have not yet done so, make sure you guys all help out the channel. Give me a subscribe down below. Also, follow me on X. The handle is in the bottom left of your screen. Appreciate you all. And we will recap yesterday's plays. Kind of a mixed bag. We hit some good plus money, so cashing is always a good thing. But 3 and 2 within the official plays. The Astros kind of shit the bed as well. I'm sorry, not the Astros. The Dodgers. Don't really know what happened with that one after they got up to a 4-0 or 4-1 start. We had that go on, and then I believe it was the Washington game with the Mets. We had the under. Those were the only two losses we suffered. Nailed the White Sox and the Houston, which was a multi-unit bet for me within the Astros, and one of the overs that snuck through with the Phillies game. So that's our recap from yesterday. Today we will have 3 best bets. And I put together a little special 4th of July parlay of the day. So getting a little festive with it. Cheers to all you guys out there going to have a day today. Make sure you guys all stay hydrated. Don't eat too many hot dogs and have fun. And if you have to work tomorrow, shame on your employer. It's kind of what it happens. There's a lot of people out there that have to work tomorrow and just not getting to enjoy that long weekend as we should. So let's get into the picks. First game out there, we do have the Mets and the Washington Nationals on the card. All right, minus 112 for the Mets. Nationals are plus 105. I like runs in this game, okay? So I do like taking the Mets-Nats over 8.5. That's where I'm at within that one, okay? And we are going to kind of incorporate that with a little bit of fun a little later on, but I am taking the over 8.5, so we will be having some fireworks on this 4th of July. We are shooting for runs, all right? And that's kind of where I'm at within that. Next game is the Cardinals and Pirates, okay? So that is an official play, by the way, guys. I do want to tell you we will taking the juiced up over the over 8.5. And I don't mind taking the 9, quite frankly, at minus 106. So whatever's available for you. Obviously, if you want to get a little bit more reward, the 9 is there. And if you do want some insurance, getting away from that push factor, then yes, the 8.5 you can take. Okay. So it just depends which way you want to do it, right? I was able to do 8.5 at a minus 131 number, so that's where my bet is locked in. All right, next game is Cardinals Pirates, right? The Pirates quietly they put together a little bit of a staff, right? I was talking with somebody actually we were out for a few drinks last night, and I brought up a kind of interesting kind of a little point. If I was the Pirates, I would trade Paul Skeens to the Baltimore Orioles for basically every one of their position player prospects within their minor league organization. The Baltimore, it will be a mutually beneficial trade. Corbin Burns, who knows how long he'll last. And the Orioles are lacking, one reliever and one starter from really truly having an opportunity to contend here for a World Series title. But that's kind of where I'm at within that. For all you Pirates fans out there, great arm, but how long is that going to be sustainable? in today's day and age. Just time will tell. So that's where I'm at within this. This game has been kind of one run decided, back and forth, back and forth. We saw Pittsburgh was able to get the win last night. And the day prior, it was 7-4, where they looked to rally back against St. Louis. So it's going to be interesting. I would give the edge to obviously the better pitcher in this matchup, and that's why the odds makers are making it minus 114 on the road. So for me, it's going to be Cardinals or nothing. I do favor the over, though, in this spot. Ball is carrying. It's going to be a sticky day across the board. So in a lot of these games, that's why we're going for fireworks. All right, so balls that shouldn't be out, fly balls, they kind of drift a little bit, and you get a little bit of that, that long ball factor where outs become home runs, and that really does shape over. So you'll see why one of my strong plays and indications that we have. That'll be kind of where I'm at within this a little later on. Okay, but this is where we're going to take. The next game. This is one of the best games on the card. Actually, we're going to go back to back with them in this game and the next game I'm going to talk about, where we will have official plays. This is where we have the New York Yankees. Love this spot for Marcus Stroman. Okay, I love the Yankees in this spot. I think this is one where they get it done with ease. And more or less, the other thing that we have to look at is, it's more so a fade of Cincinnati's pitcher. Frankie Montas has been utterly pretty much, atrocious. I think the 4.23 ERA does not speak in terms of how his starts have carried out, dodging bullets, so on and so forth. So I like Stroman at home. I also like the over. So like I said, we are going fireworks, so we're going to go over 8.5. I don't like the number, the minus 170, it's too much for me. Minus 175 was where I was when I was locking in picks. So a little bit of buyback, I think, on the Reds. But we are seeing minus 175 still. It has been going back and forth. So I love the Yankees money line, but it's just $1.75. Not going to lay it. We'll have some fun with it when we get to the end of the video, and I share with you guys my parlay of the day. All right, where whether or not you like it or not, I'm doing it. I got a little fun coupon sprinkled on it, so we will be playing that, and it's going to pay a lot of money. So that's where we're at within that game. Next one is the Astros and Blue Jays. Okay, this is one where we're also going to have an official play. All right, I am going with the Astros. We're going back to the well, and this is something where I think it's going to pay dividends, where you look at a minus 110 number. Framber Valdez, I know he's been a shell of himself from his prior playoff form, but going against Chris Bassett, once again, sometimes you just have to fade the other pitcher instead of bet on the pitcher. I just don't think that he's going to have any success against the Astros lineup. They're really starting to hit the ball. A lot of times, too, when you see a lot of offensive output, maybe the Astros are comfortable with the Blue Jays, the backdrop, the hitter's eye, whatever you want to call it. Ball's just juicy. So sometimes you can get into those rhythms and have that momentum. So I like the Astros scoring a lot of runs. I think they get it done against Chris Bassett, and they come away with a win. Expect a lot of runs in this game as well. So if you do like the over, fantastic, but I can't turn down Astros money at minus 110. So they're going to be firmly on the bet slip, okay? And the next one out there we're going to get into is Chicago and Cleveland. This is something where we look at the matchup between two pitchers that, quite frankly, Ben Lively has been fantastic for the Guards. Jared Schuster for the White Sox getting recalled, 1-0 on the season, 3.15 ERA. If anything, I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but I can't lay the Indians at 239. So almost 250 for the Indians on the money line. I can't lay that. So it might sound crazy, but maybe bet on the White Sox win 2 in a row and cash 2 tickets. It's just kind of bad timing. I think since Luis Robert has entered back into the White Sox lineup. Some of their deeper metrics have been very profitable, but still, I mean, it's a 25-63 team. Maybe the Guardians take their foot off the gas pedal a little bit leading up to the All-Star break, like I talked about a little bit earlier. But for all you guys out there that do watch my videos, I know there's a lot of people that rag on me in the comments because they think I'm a homer because I always bet the Guardians. But yesterday, just food for thought, I took the White Sox. So, you have to keep it 100, take the emotions out of it, and do not be scared to pull that trigger. Just go with your gut and trust the numbers. That's kind of how I do it. All right, but Ben Lively, I do like him in this spot, though. It's 235. They're begging you to take the White Sox. I'm going to stay away. If anything, though, one thing that does attract me is if you're able to bet this live or possibly find a plus 2.5 out there on the run line. I'm seeing plus 2.5 is minus $1.20. That's $1.29. So very hard to pass that up. So if you do want to get involved, that is a great way to do it at a plus 2.5 number. Okay, so that's kind of how I would be approaching that game. But I'm going to stay away. All right. Next one, Boston and Miami. We got Nick Pivetta and Kyle Tyler. Okay. This is something where we look into the number $1.50. This is just basically a handicap against the Marlins. If you wanted to get on board with that, but quite frankly, I'm not going to get involved. I don't want to lay $1.50 against the Marlins unless I'm dead set on this being the outcome. Personally, we look into what Boston was able to do in terms of yesterday. You see they won with ease in 2 games, 7-2, 8-3 against Miami. So if you want to trust those numbers and you want to fade the Marlins and hope for some consistency in that front, that would be how I would approach it. I would take Boston minus 1.5 on the run line, but I'm not going to lay $1.50 in this spot. It's just not where you need to be. So I actually crossed this game off my card. All right, and then we get into Detroit and Minnesota. Now this is one where you could double up the AL Central. If you do want to do some parlay action, you can get the Guardians and the Twins in a 2-team money line parlay. Piggyback off the AL Central. It's one way to get them at value. I think that the Guardians win, and I really like the Twins in this spot against Kenta Maeda, but I'm not going to lay $1.78. So that's kind of where I would be at to get that into that plus money territory, where you can be a little bit profitable within that 2-team mixer. That's how I would approach it. Otherwise, it's Twins run line or nothing. I think the Twins take care of business with ease. I'm fading Kenta Maeda pretty much for the rest of the season, and I think Bailey O'Bear is serviceable enough to get the job done. So that's kind of where I'm going to be within that game. All right. Then we can get into that. Now, make sure, guys, I think this, if oddsjam isn't correct, okay, this could be a duplicate, which it does look to be a duplicate, but just always make sure that you if you do use oddsjam or any other platform, make sure that you're looking at the right game, because if there's ever a doubleheader, which in this case I don't think there is, but these duplicates, you can kind of get misled with some of these numbers, okay? But 110 first pitch for that Tigers game. All right, and then we're going to get into another play within Philadelphia and the Cubs. Way to kind of get that sneakily over we had last night. So able to be help us with our case for being profitable. Couple that with a couple plus monies, and we had a really good evening. But Philadelphia, I like them in this spot. I know a lot of you guys got on me about taking Philadelphia all the time, even without the likes of Schwarber and Bryce Harper. But, players play. You look at Philadelphia's lineup, and you could really go down 1-9. And I personally think that there hasn't been much regression since missing those guys. I know they've dropped a few. They've had some duds, but statistically, if you look at kind of what's going on within their win-loss, their profitability, you can make the argument that they've created more units since they've lost those guys, because I think it's presenting a little bit of a fade spot where people are betting against the Phillies, or you're getting more on the other side, so you're getting a better number if you like Philadelphia. So that's just kind of where my head's at. I'm going to be snagging up these minus 125 Philadelphia money lines, especially with Christopher Sanchez, who's been outstanding thus far leading up to this point in the season. 6-3, 2.4 ERA, fantastic. Jameson Taillon, he's kind of in that fade category a little bit too. If you like the Cubs, great. They're at home, zigzag a little bit. They were hitting the ball last night. They just had a little too many shots right at people. And until that Alec Boehm home run, I really thought the Cubs were going to kind of sneak one out. But that's demoralizing. I like Sanchez from the left side. I think that he's going to have a very strong outing in this game. So would not even be scared of the under. If you like the under, 7.5s are totals for a reason. If you do like the under, jump on it. Because I don't think this will go to 7. I think we might touch 8, but I think it might close at 7.5 as well. So that's where I would be. I'd lean towards the under, and I do like Philadelphia on the money line, and that will be semi-official play. It will be included into the parlay of the day, which I'll be disclosing to you guys at the end of this video. All right, Michael King, Max Scherzer. That's the next game up. Padres, Rangers. We can look into this matchup, and we could see Padres plus 128. Scherzer kind of had a decent outing since, he's had 2 starts since coming back from the IR, and we'll get into some of the numbers here. Okay, so Mad Max, if we look into the game log, you can see a little bit about what he's been going, how his numbers have been shifting. I wanted to see where his velocity was and how he mixed up the off-speed versus fastball after coming back. But, he's kind of still on a pitch count. They ramped him up to 77 pitches, but nobody can hit him still. It's fantastic to see his dominance. Some of the runs that he's been on. But first game out, he pitched Kansas City, 5 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, 4 Ks, and 4 hits against Baltimore with 2 earned runs and 4 strikeouts. So, if you want to get into something a little deviate from the pack, possibly look into, one of these days they're going to let him ramp his pitch count up. So I do want to kind of look into that right now, and I will have another platform that we're going to be doing props here for the future. We're going to unveil that after the 4th of July. I'm kind of finalizing a contract with another company, but let's look into the this bet real quick, because this is something where I want to show you guys, because this might be a little spur of the moment pop-up bet we got. Yeah, see, they got it right on the money. I was hoping that they would have it at a little bit at like 3.5, but 4.5. This is something where it's a tough one. I mean, this is a tough one. They got it right where it needs to be, because but I got to be honest with you guys. I think this could be a steal of a number here, taking the Max Scherzer over 4.5 strikeouts. Because one of these games, it's going to be just a turn of the key once he gets in full force. And then, obviously, Texas going against what we have going on in San Diego. I think this is something where you could have some success with this. All right, so kind of a bonus pick out there. If I was going to make a prop pick today, I would go Scherzer over 4.5 Ks. I know the sharp bet's probably taking the under, but I think that we've slowly seen his pitch count ramp up, and we've had, like I said, guys, 77 pitches last outing. I went 5 1/3, so 4 strikeouts through 5 innings. We'll see, but I do think there's some value taking the over 4.5. That's probably exactly where I was worried they were going to have it at. So that would be my bet in this game. Otherwise, no official play. All right, now let's get into the few final games we have remaining. Los Angeles, Oakland, as you guys all know, I am going to cross this one out. I don't bet the Oakland Athletics for or against. Okay, Baltimore and Seattle. Here's where we can get on board with Baltimore. Corbin Burns is pitching, and you're probably going to get your best value with him pitching right now. Seattle's a tough out at home, so I'm not betting this game, full disclosure, but if I did have a lean, it would be with backing the Orioles and Corbin Burns. Okay, and then we get into the Giants, Atlanta Braves, Logan Webb and Charlie Morton. You're looking at a plus 110 number for Logan Webb on the road. Look at the Braves, though. I want to share with you guys a little bit about this, because as we look into their last 5 games, right, San Francisco has won 3 out of their last 5, and so has the Braves. But the way that they're winning it, I should say, is where when they lose the game, it seems like it's just kind of like there's no doubt about it. And otherwise, it's pretty close. These margins between Atlanta, Atlanta has been inhibiting teams from scoring, and they have been, in my opinion, failing to score a lot more than I think people fully can't process that, right? They lost Acuna. Their offensive numbers are down into the gutter. I mean, it is just an abysmal season statistically from the offensive side of the plate. but this is kind of where I'm leading to. All right. Moral of the story is I love the under in this spot. I don't have the nerve to bet it. I don't need to bet it. I got enough bets out there. But if you do want to get involved with this game, I would be favoring the under 8.5, under 8. You can find it out there in the market for a minus 120 price. And I'm not scared of taking a little plus money with the Giants. I really am not. So that's kind of where I'm at. But if I was going to bet this game, it would be the under and possibly even the first 5 under. Okay, so that's where I'm at in that ball game. Tampa at Kansas City, a little bit of a grudge match coming out here. We had Kansas City, unfortunately, they weren't able to get the job done on the second. That's where they costed us when we backed them. And then last night they were able to get it done 4-2 at home against Tampa. This is something within Tampa. We look at this game between Zach Eflin and Alec Marsh. In my opinion, this is going to be quite a bit of runs, but I really don't have an indication with what's going on with this as well. So I crossed this card off my card. Just full disclosure, I'm not going to get involved with Tampa and Kansas City. Okay, and then we do have 2 final games before we get into that parlay of the day. We are going to talk a little bit about Arizona and LA and the Brewers in Colorado. Okay. Tobias Myers and Cal Quantrill. This is going to be, in my opinion, this is something where, unfortunately, any game at Coors Field, you're going to see a total of 10 or more. For me, it's Brewers or nothing. Minus 135 is great value. It's going to be, I personally would go under the 11. That's just kind of where I'm at. So under 11 and Brewers would be my picks in this game. Diamondbacks and Dodgers. Okay, I like this young gun, Landon Knack. Don't know what happened with the Dodgers last night. They got shellacked by the Diamondbacks after getting off to that hot start. I was knocking myself for not taking them for more once I saw they were up 4-2, and then ended up not having that ticket come home on the run line. And that's something for those reverse run line players out there, they were able to cash a nice one out there, because that was one that I saw people talking about a little bit. But I still like the Dodgers at home. All right, I think this number is screwed up personally. So if you want to really force me to bet this game, which I probably will, because it's a 9-10 start, so we get a little later after that 7 o'clock. Those 7 o'clock first pitches and some of the afternoon games we got. I probably will end up betting this. I usually always bet the Dodgers at the end of the night if I'm up money. But within this is something where it didn't make my card, but I like the Dodgers. They lost, coming off a bad loss, I should say. And I do like Landon Knack a lot. So going against Zach Gallen, I know, that's kind of why the Diamondbacks have a little bit of I guess you'd say, the money, and that's kind of why we're seeing only plus 120 in my opinion. But give me the minus 127 if that's still there as we get later in the evening. I will be back in the Dodgers. Okay, but now what we're going to get into is kind of just the rundown and kind of the culmination of it all. We'll do a quick recap, but I did want to share with you guys, I did put together a little fun coupon. I got the 4th of July parlay of the day. Okay, so we're having a little fun with this one. So the full disclosure, this is highly kind of against the logic, what to do, all that good stuff. So I don't recommend doing it. It's just something to have fun on the 4th of July that I'm going to be putting together. Just put like $100 on and see what happens. That's kind of where I'm going to be at. Nothing crazy. Like I said, I'm not expecting this bet to win, but it is something where I want to put together a little fun, some fun action for you guys. So I'm not telling you guys to bet it. You guys can do whatever you want. But usually with some of these, we end up coming close, if not hit it right on the nail. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I have put together a 5-team July 4th moneyline parlay of the day. Shout out to the logic behind this, because this was kind of somewhat of a patriotic parlay, if you will. So obviously, any team that has some kind of red, white, and blue or storyline to go within kind of the origin of the country, that's kind of where we're at. So I took the Nationals. I took the Yankees, and I took the Phillies, and we're going to take fireworks in both of those games. We're going over the 8.5, and the Phillies minus 125 on that money line. I didn't really have the nerve to put the Phillies with the over. just because I don't see it. So that's kind of what, or else it would be a 6-team. I have no problem making it a little flashy, but I actually do kind of like it, to be honest. But and the money is all over the over 7.5, but. I'm just not going to do it. It's probably going to be the only over hit that hits, and that'll be kind of funny as well. But just kidding. But anyways, plus 1351. You can probably find boosts out there. FanDuel will probably have a same game parlay. You know, whatever your max is, take advantage of those boost opportunities. 30% usually is what they offer. DraftKings, I think, will do kind of an increasing bonus as well. So that is my 4th of July fireworks. We will have that as the parlay of the day. Hopefully it cashes. I have a $100 free bet, so I'm going to rifle that right on that as soon as I get done with this video. And those are my picks. So the official plays, we are going to do, I told you my leans along the way, but we are going to do Astros, Yankees, Reds over 8.5, Mets, Nationals over 8.5, as well as a lot of those ones that I said that I was close to. Those are also very strong leans and plays that we probably will be thinking about putting in, especially the Dodgers game late night. So appreciate you guys. If you can, make sure you guys all subscribe down below. Smash that like button. Thank you once more, and we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Cheers. Have a great 4th.